Liam loved art. He worked at the city museum. Every day he looked at beautiful paintings and sculptures. He knew each one very well. One morning Liam noticed something strange. A famous painting was missing. It was called The Golden Sunset. It was very valuable. Liam searched the room. He looked behind other paintings. He checked the storage rooms. The painting was gone. He felt worried. Liam told his boss, Mrs. Clark. She was very upset. "We need to find it quickly," she said. "This painting is priceless." They called the police. Detective Harris came to the museum. He was tall and serious. He asked many questions. "Who was here last night?" Detective Harris asked. "Only the night guard, Mr. Green," Mrs. Clark replied. Detective Harris spoke to Mr. Green. "Did you see anything unusual?" he asked. Mr. Green shook his head. "No, sir. Everything was normal," he said. Liam felt puzzled. How could the painting disappear without a trace? He decided to help find the answer. Liam started to look for clues. He checked the security cameras. He looked for fingerprints. He wanted to find the thief. As he searched, he noticed something odd. A small, shiny object on the floor. It was a button. Liam picked it up. Could this be a clue? Liam knew he had to find out. The mystery was just beginning. Liam showed the button to Detective Harris. The detective looked at it carefully. "This is interesting," Detective Harris said. "It could be from the thief's coat." Liam nodded. "I think so too. We should find out who this button belongs to." They decided to check the staff's coats. They went to the staff room. Coats and jackets were hanging on hooks. Liam and Detective Harris checked each one. After a while, Liam found a coat with a missing button. It was Mr. Green's coat. Liam felt surprised. He looked at Detective Harris. "Mr. Green's coat is missing a button," Liam said. Detective Harris frowned. "This is serious. We need to talk to Mr. Green again." They called Mr. Green to the office. He looked nervous. Detective Harris showed him the button. "Is this your button?" Detective Harris asked. Mr. Green looked at the button and nodded slowly. "Yes, it looks like mine," he said. "Where did you lose it?" Mr. Green hesitated. "I don't know," he said. "I didn't even notice it was gone." Liam felt confused. Was Mr. Green lying? He decided to ask more questions. "Mr. Green, where were you last night?" Liam asked. Mr. Green sighed. "I was here doing my rounds. I didn't see anything strange," he said. Detective Harris looked at Liam. "We need to check the security cameras again," he said. They went back to the security room. They watched the footage carefully. Liam noticed something. In the corner of the screen, there was a shadow moving. "Look there," Liam pointed. "Someone is hiding." Detective Harris zoomed in. The shadow looked like Mr. Green. But was it really him? They needed more proof. The mystery was getting deeper. Liam and Detective Harris continued to watch the security footage. The shadow moved towards a wall and disappeared. Liam was puzzled. "Where did he go?" Liam asked. Detective Harris thought for a moment. "Maybe there's a hidden door," he said. "Let's check that wall." They went to the spot where the shadow disappeared. Liam tapped on the wall. It sounded hollow. "There's something behind this wall," Liam said. Detective Harris searched for a way to open it. He found a small switch hidden behind a painting. He pressed it and the wall slid open, revealing a secret room. Liam and Detective Harris stepped inside. The room was small and dark. It was full of old boxes and dusty furniture. In the corner, they saw the Golden Sunset painting. It was covered with a cloth. Liam felt relieved, but also curious. Who put it here? They looked around for more clues. Liam found a notebook on a table. He opened it and read the first page. It was full of plans and drawings. "This notebook belongs to Mr. Green," Liam said. "Look at his name on the cover." Detective Harris took the notebook. "This is enough evidence," he said. "Mr. Green has some explaining to do." They went back to the office. Mr. Green was waiting there looking very nervous. Detective Harris showed him the notebook and the painting. "Why did you hide the painting?" the detective asked. Mr. Green sighed deeply. "I didn't want to steal it," he said. "I was trying to protect it. I overheard some men talking about taking the painting. I panicked and hid it." Liam and Detective Harris looked at each other. Was Mr. Green telling the truth? The mystery was still not fully solved. They needed to find out who the men were. Detective Harris decided to investigate further. "We need to find these men," he said. "They might come back for the painting." Liam felt determined. They were close to solving the mystery, but there was still work to do. Liam and Detective Harris knew they had to act quickly. If the men Mr. Green heard were real, they could come back any time. "Do you remember what the men looked like?" Detective Harris asked Mr. Green. Mr. Green nodded. "One was tall with a black hat. The other had a scar on his cheek," he said. Liam and Detective Harris decided to set a trap. They put the golden sunset painting back in its place. Then they hid and waited. Hours passed. The museum was quiet and dark. Suddenly they heard footsteps. 2 men entered the room. One wore a black hat, and the other had a scar on his cheek. "It's them," Mr. Green whispered. Liam and Detective Harris watched as the men moved toward the painting. Detective Harris nodded to Liam. It was time to act. "Stop right there!" Detective Harris shouted, stepping out from his hiding place. The men froze. They looked shocked. Liam turned on the lights. The men tried to run, but Mr. Green blocked the door. "You're not going anywhere," Mr. Green said firmly. Detective Harris quickly handcuffed the men. "You are under arrest for attempted theft," he said. The men didn't say a word. They looked angry and defeated. Liam felt a rush of relief. They had caught the real thieves. The painting was safe again. Detective Harris called for backup. Soon other police officers arrived and took the men away. "Good job, everyone," Detective Harris said. "Mr. Green, you were brave to hide the painting, but next time tell us right away." Mr. Green nodded. "I will. I'm sorry for the trouble." Liam smiled. "We solved the mystery," he said. "The painting is safe thanks to all of us." Mrs. Clark was very happy. She thanked Liam, Detective Harris, and Mr. Green. "You saved our most valuable painting," she said. Liam looked at the golden sunset. It was back in its place, shining brightly. The mystery was solved, but Liam knew he would always remember the excitement of the case.